Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Right now at 7, surveillance video shows the moments 24 bullets shattered the windows of a Johnston County nail salon, just one of the 3 businesses hit by gunfire during a shootout.
Plus, in the last 24 hours, a man was charged with murder and a 15-month-old's death. Now the community is raising concerns of a possible increase in serious child abuse cases. And NC State took a day to focus on mental health after a series of suicides on campus. Right now, police are searching for a man they say was involved in a shootout that damaged 3 businesses. Thank you for joining us. I'm Deborah Morgan. And I'm Dan Haggerty. Here's the video. We showed you a bit off the top. You can see the glass shattering there at the windows this morning of one of those businesses, a nail salon in Cary. WRAL's Chelsea Donovan has a look at the damage and new information from police.
You can see the damage here behind me at Queen Nail in Clayton. Now, just late this afternoon, we got an update from Clayton Police regarding these shootings, and based on witness interviews and surveillance video, they are now looking for a man, Reginald Sanders. They believe he got into an argument with another man and allegedly shot him in the leg.
Within seconds, the storefront is shattered.
I look at my camera and I see all the mess.
This is what Queenie Ang walked into at Queen Nails this morning in Clayton. 3 bullet holes and shards of glass at her nail salon she's only owned a year.
Imagine if I'm here at 9 and I got shot from that, it's more worse.
Her business was one of 3 shot just a few minutes before 5 this morning. Radio traffic from Broadcastify describes what happened.
There was 2 male subjects in the store arguing and fighting with each other, and then engaged in shooting at each other.
Clayton police say a fight between 2 men started in this Circle K steps from Queenie's shop. The clerk ran for cover in the bathroom, and then the men started shooting in the parking lot.
One big shot at the food line as well.
Bullets continue to fly outside the Food Lion next to that Circle K. Crews spent the day cleaning up glass remnants and repairing the windows as police continue to investigate the early morning shootings. As for Queenie, she says she's just thankful that no one was seriously injured.
I still feel the blessing and be positive and fixing the shop as soon as possible so I can get back to my customer as soon.
Clayton police have obtained several warrants on Sanders for 2 counts of attempted murder, among other charges. Police say he is still not in custody. Chelsea Donovan, WRAL News, Johnston County.
5 hours earlier and 5 minutes away, an attempted home invasion where 1 man was hurt. Clayton police say the homeowner fired several shots at 3 men who were breaking in. It happened around 12:30 a.m. on Brigadoon Drive. The homeowner said they heard loud noises coming from the back door and saw 3 people trying to get in. The homeowner and suspects then exchanged gunfire before they ran away. Police found 19-year-old Alexis Segura Prieto with a gunshot wound in the front yard. He faces several charges. Police are still trying to find the other 2. Raleigh police have arrested a 15-year-old who they say was involved in the deadly Halloween shooting that left a 16-year-old dead. Charges have not yet been announced due to the suspect's age, but police also did not specify the involvement beyond saying they played a role in the shooting. Xavion Lawton was trick-or-treating with his friends when he was shot in the chest on Sumner Boulevard. 2 other teenagers were injured.
I'm Mark Boyle in the WRAL Live Center. We first told you this afternoon about Durham's school bus driver shortage. Now here at 7 o'clock, Chapel Hill Carborough City Schools announcing tomorrow could be a little bumpy for a handful of schools. On your screen, this is the notice that went out to parents. Contact our transportation office. There's the number on your screen, 919-942-5045, starting at 6:30 tomorrow. And we'll arrange to have a bus pick up your student as soon as one is made available, which will be shortly after 9 a.m. So there are 2 routes that are impacted here. The schools include Rashkus Elementary, Culberth Middle, Carborough High, Glenwood Elementary School, and East Chapel Hill High School. So we'll try and get some context for this story. We're trying to find out exactly how many students are impacted by this. If we get that information, we'll pass it along to you here in the Live Center.
All right, Mark, thank you. This is 15-month-old Aiden Silver. Look at that smile. Rocky Mount police say he was abused until he died last week, and they've now charged his mother's boyfriend with murder. Police say it appears this little boy is the fourth toddler fatally abused in Rocky Mount this year. As some residents voice concerns of a potential rise in child abuse, WRAL's Keenan Willard takes a look at the numbers.
Rocky Mount police say on October 23rd, they were called to a home at 1111 York Street. They found 1-year-old Aiden Silver unresponsive and were told he'd fallen down. Silver later died of his injuries, and an autopsy determined his death was suspicious. Yesterday, police arrested 19-year-old Isaiah Miller, charging him with first-degree murder and felony child abuse. Police say Miller was dating the child's mother and serving as Silver's parent when he was injured. Silver is the fourth child under the age of 2 to be allegedly abused to death in Rocky Mount this year. In April, mother Zaria Noel and her boyfriend, Amon Butler, were charged in the deaths of a 3-month-old and a 1-year-old after the children were found unresponsive in a car with burns and bruises on their bodies. And in late September, police found 1-year-old Romy Tyler III dead in a bathtub. His mother, Sierra Ely, was charged with child abuse, her boyfriend, Marcus Richardson, with first-degree murder. Some in the Rocky Mount community are raising concerns of a possible increase in serious child abuse cases. The Nash County Sheriff's Office tells WRAL it hasn't seen a significant increase, investigating 6 child abuse cases last year and 7 so far this year. And in Edgecombe County, there's only been 1 child abuse case investigated so far in 2022, the deaths of the 2 children on Drew Street. Keenan Willard, WRAL News, Rocky Mount.
WRAL also reached out to the Rocky Mount Police Department for a comparison of child abuse cases from 2021 to 2022. We'll update this story just as soon as we receive a response.
Today, the largest school in the UNC system, NC State, took a day to focus on mental health after a series of suicides on campus. School officials say there have been 3 confirmed student suicide deaths this calendar year. Today, classes and assignments were canceled so students could focus on their mental health. Students tell WRAL the pandemic and social media take a toll. School leaders are considering more wellness days in the future. Right now, the state health department is hosting a town hall to talk about mental health. More than 3 million people in North Carolina have mental health or substance use disorders. And tonight, leaders will talk about laws in the state surrounding mental health and take some questions from people there. There are resources, of course, for anyone who needs it. Anyone dealing with a crisis can call 988 and reach the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. You can also visit WRAL.com/get-help to see county-by-county resources.
One-stop early voting ends this weekend. So far, more than 21% of eligible voters have cast a ballot in North Carolina. WRAL looked at the county-by-county numbers using the State Board of Elections website. In Wake County, 22% of people registered to vote, and they have 26% of registered voters have cast their ballots in Durham County. The county with the highest percentage voters is Chatham County, with 36% of registered voters already casting a ballot. Taking a live look right now inside a large rally in Goldsboro. Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson and Republican U.S. Senate candidate Ted Budd are set to give remarks tonight. The event started just a few minutes ago. It's described as a Save Our Schools rally with a focus on stopping radical indoctrination in K-12 schools. WRAL's Aaron Thomas is there and will bring us coverage during our late news. Democratic Senate candidate Sherry Beasley was in multiple counties today campaigning. Beasley started her day at a polling location in Johnston County before attending a cookout in Vance County. There, she was greeted by supporters and made remarks. About an hour ago, Beasley was part of a community conversation in Wilson County.
If climate change stresses you out, you're not alone. Eco-anxiety is a real thing, and there's a recent study showing more and more people are experiencing it. Our climate change reporter, Liz McLaughlin, explains what you can do. Plus, right before the holidays, Amazon is putting a pause on hiring. What the e-commerce giant says is behind this move. Kat.
It's certainly a warm start to the month, but we could hit 80 degrees in November by the end of the week. Coming up, I'll detail how common it is to see temperatures this warm in November.
WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
And you're watching WRAL News as we are taking a live look at downtown Raleigh. The last little glimmers of daylight in the sky as the sun has now set in downtown Raleigh. You're looking at the Museum of Natural Sciences here on Jones Street, and what a lovely evening it is. Dan?
Deb, it is a beautiful night. Right now, Wake County is training its first class of firefighters recruited through this new campaign to bring more diversity to a career that is frankly mostly white men. More than 1,000 people applied. That's a record number at a time when fire departments are facing staffing shortages. WRAL's Matt Tallhelm shows us the training these firefighters are going through before they come to the rescue in our communities.
Right now, 35 recruits are going through the Fire Academy here in Wake County. This is the biggest and most diverse class ever.
The second patient is falling down to the bottom of some stairs.
Answering the call sends Jennifer Hayes and Miles Satterfield scattering with their crews to save a victim in distress.
Getting to assess patients, really have that hands-on experience.
You're checking for breathing, you're checking to see if he has a pulse.
This is just a training scenario for the new Wake County Fire recruits. Satterfield is out of the Marines.
I did not ever have any plans or intentions of being a firefighter growing up.
Hayes is starting a new career after working an office job.
I like a challenge.
This class is the first hired through a new recruitment campaign to create a more diverse force of firefighters in Wake County, where right now only 4% are women and 6% are not white. Among these recruits, 11% are women and 28% are minorities.
The recruitment effort has gone tremendously well, considering what we are facing in the current labor market with such a shortage everywhere.
Right now, the Raleigh Fire Department is down 49 out of 553 firefighter positions. And just last week, WRAL told you how a Durham development is stalled because the fire department there is struggling to keep up with growth. These future firefighters will fill positions across Wake County, reflecting the faces of the communities they'll serve and the people they'll save.
When you've got those emergency situations, I think it definitely eases people's mind to see people that look like them. That initial impression is a big deal.
For the first time, these recruits are paid. That's something the county says has helped recruit candidates that before otherwise wouldn't have been able to do this. Matt Tallhelm, WRAL News, Wake County.
Well, as they're hiring, Amazon is putting a temporary hold on its hiring across its corporate operations. They say the move is necessary as the economy faces an uncertain future. The company made the announcement today. Amazon thrived during the pandemic when people did a lot of shopping online. Now, more people are back to shopping in person and watching their spending with inflation and higher interest rates. The freeze is expected to last for months. A combination COVID and flu vaccine study is now in the works. Today, Pfizer and its partner BioNTech announced the first participant has received a dose in the phase 1 of the trial. The shot contains the company's updated COVID booster and its investigational flu vaccine. Other companies working on a combination vaccine include Novavax and Moderna.
If you are stressed out about the environment and climate change, you're not alone. There's a recent study. It shows the number of people with what they call eco-anxiety has doubled in the past 5 years. WRAL's Liz McLaughlin tells us more about the problem and what to do about it.
Climate disasters cause more than just physical damage. Researchers say there's a growing mental health toll as well.
There's just going to be a lot more people suffering with depression, anxiety, PTSD, and it's going to be essential that there's more mental health resources.
Beyond those on the front lines of extreme weather is a growing audience bearing witness to a global problem and a higher prevalence of what's called eco-anxiety.
It's terrifying, right? If you read up on the science, it's really, really worrying.
Author Sammy Grover says concern about the warming planet is normal.
There's nothing wrong with you if you're worried, right? What we need to think about is that worry being productive in your life, or is it getting in the way?
Eco-anxiety is a chronic fear of environmental doom, according to the American Psychological Association.
The grief that people feel, the rage that they feel, the betrayal and hopelessness.
A phenomenon more prevalent in young people and leading more to seek climate counseling to cope.
Especially my generation just feels like the world's burning.
Reese Fassett said she realized her environmental activism had become unhealthy when her zero-waste journey got out of control, at one point going 4 months on the same trash bag.
My entire relationship with food changed because I was afraid to buy things in containers.
She, like many with eco-anxiety, felt the individual burden of a global crisis. While cutting down on plastic or buying an electric car are worthwhile efforts, it's a small fraction of the solution. A whopping 89% of worldwide carbon dioxide emissions are caused by the fossil fuel industry.
I just shifted my focus from personal responsibility to like what we could change as a whole group, as a system.
A strategy Grover suggests in his book as well.
Find your one place, right? Find your one place where you have more leverage, more power, more influence, and focus, 95% of your energy there.
Using concern for the climate to connect with a like-minded movement. Liz McLaughlin, WRAL News.
Still, if you feel anxiety about climate change and it's disrupting your life, you may benefit from talking to someone, a professional. Search for climate-aware therapist to find providers trained to help manage this specific type of stress.
Tuesday will be the last time you will be able to see a total lunar eclipse in the sky for a few years. A lunar eclipse is when the path of our nearest neighbor in space enters the Earth's shadow during a full moon phase, and that causes the light from the Earth's sunrises and sunsets to be cast on the moon, causing it to temporarily appear red. If you miss Tuesday's sky show, you have to wait until 2025 for the next one. And Kat, I know you and I are the type of people that would stay up late or go to bed whenever we had to, just to be able to go outside and see a celestial event like this.
It's going to be really cool. Right now we have partly cloudy skies, so before I commit to waking up early, I do need to really pinpoint the cloud cover forecast for Tuesday, but it's going to be one to watch if all pans out. So stay with us as we get closer to Tuesday, and we'll keep you up to date with all the times to look, the temperatures, and cloud cover town by town. The big weather story this week is the warmth. 81 degrees on Saturday, upper 70s near 80 Sunday and Monday. It is going to be a very warm November weekend, but how unusual is it to see temperatures like this? Well, it's pretty common out at RDU to see November days with highs in the 70s. We average about 8 per year. The number of 75 or greater degree days, though, that average goes down a little bit to 3. The 80-degree days are where it's pretty uncommon. We average less than one of those per year. So it's not every year that you see 80 degrees in November. This year, we've got one on the 7-day forecast and close enough Sunday and Monday that we could potentially see more than one. In Rocky Mount tonight, 62 at the WRAL Durham newsroom. A mild evening in Fayetteville at 65 degrees tonight. We do have a lot of moisture moving into the area. The system that moved through last night, the upper level low pressure, it's sitting offshore, but we will see this building easterly wind, and that's going to draw in a lot of moisture off the Atlantic, and that's going to lead to variably cloudy skies. Can't even rule out some patchy fog tomorrow morning, and there are small rain chances as we head into tomorrow, especially 8 a.m. tomorrow. Really the best small chance for rain would be toward the North Carolina coast. We have a 20% chance here locally. It would be during the afternoon, early evening, just a few sprinkles out there, but a heads up, you could run into one. Not worth canceling your outdoor plans tomorrow evening. Keep the WRAL weather app handy, and you can check in on the dual Doppler 5000 radar if you're out and about to see when the rain clears out. But I don't think it's going to ruin your Friday night plans. Saturday, we are likely to see some showers for the western half of North Carolina as the system approaches from the west, but it never quite makes it here locally. So locally, I think that rain chances would be low Saturday. Check in for updates as we get closer. It's the temperature that's really going to stand out for Saturday. Tomorrow, though, it's a great day to head out and vote. Early voting wraps up after Saturday, so we're looking at 55 at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, upper 60s at lunchtime, 75 at 4 o'clock. Just doesn't get much better than this. If you do have to head out and even wait in a line, perfect weather to do so. 76 the high tomorrow, 74 in Roxborough, upper 70s for our southern cities. By Saturday, we reach the 80s. It is going to be a warm day out there Saturday. And the weekend, not only is it going to be warm, but it's actually going to be a little bit muggy as well, at least by November standards. Clocks fall back an hour this weekend. You'll get the extra hour of sleep, but the early sunsets begin on Sunday, 5:14 p.m. Small rain chances Sunday and Monday, looking dry for election day, but rain chances are likely to climb toward the middle and end of next week.
It'll be good to see that heavy rain again. We need a good soaking.
Yes, we do.
Thanks, Kat.
As we look ahead to the weekend, great weather, of course, lots of fun things to do across the area. We're going to take you through a list of the few happenings coming up next in tonight's Out and About segment.
Well, it is almost the weekend, and we are helping you plan.
I actually thought it was Friday for a little while today.
It kind of feels like it, yeah.
But here's some out and about picks for you and your family to choose from. The hit Broadway musical Dear Evan Hansen is live at the DPAC. This is a great story. It's run around the country, and it's worth checking out. Features a young man named Connor, a letter that was never meant to be seen, and a life Connor never thought he'd actually experience. It's all linked to that letter. Dear Evan Hansen, center stage through Sunday.
Should be a good show. Check out a fall arts fair Saturday at Fred Fletcher Park in Raleigh, featuring more than 50 local vendors. You can also enjoy live music, food trucks, arts activities, and demonstrations at this family-friendly event. It's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday.
The weather's going to be great, too. And you can celebrate a variety of international holidays during this year's International Festival. A holiday market is going to be set up. You can take in some performances there. There's always great food. It's going to be at the NC State Fairgrounds Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, and if you're looking to run off all that food and looking for a challenge, the 16th annual City of Oaks Marathon takes over downtown Raleigh on Sunday. Runners can still register for a full marathon, a half marathon, 10K or 5K. And I always love to tell people to get out there and cheer for all the runners because it really helps motivate them cross that finish line.
You would know. You actually ran a marathon.
Yes, and I needed that cheering to help motivate me.
I did the cheering, okay? Not at yours, but actually not at any of them. Maybe I should head out there. And they're going to have, good time. Again, the weather is just going to be absolutely
perfect.
Gorgeous.
WRAL is a proud sponsor of that event, too.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you being with us tonight and choosing WRAL News for your local news.
Our next newscast is at 11 on WRAL. Have a great night, everybody.
Local news doesn't stop here. Head over to WRAL.com for 24/7 live local coverage on the go.